Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host. By now, you should know Q Edmonds, Quentin Edmonds, but everybody just called me Q. And today, I am excited. I am joined by someone who's, man, listen, I'm going to call him a legend. He's been around for a while. He's done anything you can think of in real estate. He done had his hand in investments. I mean, just anything you can think of, like the whole list, right? I'm excited. He got the 90/20 agent. I'm just excited for you guys to meet my friend, Mr. Fred DeFalco, who's been making serious moves in the real estate industry for a good little minute now. And he'll talk to you some more about it. But Mr. Fred, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, Quentin. And you know what? I'm really surprised you didn't add in there Baltimore on.
Listen,
Former.
I try to keep it, copacetic. I don't like to rep my city too much because everybody's from all over the place. But you know how we do. Yeah, but I mean, from one Baltimorean to another, you already know, sir. So absolutely. Listen, I know our listeners are really going to like your approach when it comes to real estate, when it comes to what you use real estate for, how you view real estate to build your, I'm not going to call it your initiative, but how you really try to educate people on how real estate, what it has really been for them and is for them if they can lay hold to it, right? And so I don't know how deep you're going to get into that, but what I want to do, I want to dive in. I want to tee you up. I am ready for the people just to get to learn from you. So I would love to know, people don't know you. They want to get to know you. So what's your main focus these days? And if you don't mind, like, tell them what markets you're operating out of.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I want to encourage your readers, listeners, to go to 920real.com, or it all points to the same thing, 920agent.com, because there's a poem on there that I've been using since I was a kid. I got into the real estate business, actually quasi in the real estate business with my father, because he started buying inner city rental properties. He was a garbage man in the city of Baltimore. Literally, he hauled the garbage at the incinerator on Pulaski Highway after it was burnt. Right? He was an Italian immigrant. He only had a third grade education, and he realized he could start building wealth by real estate. And he had found a savings loan, got him his first loan on his first house on the Erdman Avenue in Baltimore. Now, I'm going to use Baltimore, folks. If you're listening from somewhere else, Quentin, all these names, it rings a bell, and he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And buying houses for $2,500, $4,500. We're talking a long time ago, right? So 1969, I think it was his first one, or something, 68, 69. But so anyway, when you're talking about real estate and real estate investing, and I'm assuming a lot of your investors, most likely a podcast, like I'm going to make some assumptions. They're probably trying to get started, just got started, or they're trying to pivot to one thing to another. So I encourage you to go to 920agent.com, print that poem, keep it up in front of you the whole time, because the whole world is real estate. And where the whole thing has taken me in the last 50 years, Quentin and I were just speaking, is that, you don't understand anything. You're never going to understand anything until you have about 40 years into it. Life could only be understood backwards. It's got to be lived forward.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So always be in forward motion, not thinking about the future. The way you go into the forward motion is only in the present moment. If you're thinking about, I got to get this deal, I got to get this, I got to blah, 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 you got to do the very best you can at the very given moment, nothing else. I must do the most productive thing I can do at every given moment. And if you're sitting there dreaming about the future, that's not the most productive, right? You're not. So stop, relax, chill. Okay. And the opportunity is not what's out there. It's what's up here and what's in here. And that poem will absolutely keep you moving forward in the right way. Okay. It's more than inspiration. It's a direction. So that's the #1 thing. So, that's what that look, if they go there, Quentin, we could end that podcast now, then the rest of it.
Yeah, right.
You were asking some other question, if I may. You were talking about, how did you get started? My first investment property was a $2,500 property that I had kind of inherited from my father. Not inherited, he died, but he said, I'll tell you what, you go ahead and try this one, right? He gave me the mortgage on it and all. Wow. Yeah. These were inner city properties. But, then the next thing, you went here, went there. Now, my career took a different turn. I got into sales at 23 with a company called Russell T. Baker in Florida that eventually sold out. In Baltimore, eventually sold out to Coldwell Banker when Coldwell Banker was sweeping across the country, owned by the Sears Corporation. So I had a very accelerated 3 years of selling. Went into management in the Dundalk area of Baltimore, where I was living at the time. Made it the #1 office out of 13 in a very short time. So I just was a natural at management. And because I committed myself to the industry, I took every course, I went to everything, I read every book, took every designation I could take very soon on, and I got everybody else to do that. So then I went into executive management with Coldwell Banker when we got sold out at 29 years old. So my career took a whole bit different turn. So I stayed doing that for quite a while. And I really didn't come back to the investment. Fast forward, I then went to Florida in 86 from Baltimore and took over an area for Coldwell Banker down here. After that, I started a consulting company. I ended up with a consulting contract on the East Coast of Florida. That was in 89 to 97. 97, then I became a consultant again in the industry for real estate companies. But then 2000 is when I went back, opened my own brokerage. And I would encourage people to do that. Get your license at the same time, build a brokerage as well as invest. Sometimes it's a conflict depending upon what you want to do. And I can help people out with that if they want me to advise them and help. But the main thing you want to do is just stay committed to the not grind, shine. Right? We were just talking about that. It's not about the grind. It's about always refining, right? Don't grind, refine everything. Refine everything you're doing. Don't quit. Don't give up. So keep moving forward. And then what happened to me was in 2000, I finally said, that's it, enough of working for anybody else. I don't care how good the executive salary is, this, that. And then I started investing again. And then I just started out with individual houses again. And then I got into new product. I was waiting for a builder to release a product. That helped. And then I started going from there, and I built up a nice portfolio of 15, 16 properties where I had cash flow. And then I started an LLC, where I wanted to try to figure out how to get into commercial. And I'll tell you how I got in. It was very simple. I found a property, a $5 million apartment complex, and the guy didn't want to sell it out on the open market. I said, man, how could I do that? $5 million. I'm used to buying $300,000 houses, not $5 million property. So I said, I'm just going to do it the same way I do the house. I put a contract in. I said, I'm going to give you, a small deposit of $5,000, $50,000 in 10 days. And I didn't have the $50,000 cash. I had family growing, this and that. And I said, I'll figure it out if they accept the contract. They accepted the contract.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So now I had to figure out how to go get $50,000 deposit in 10 days. But as soon as I stepped out in faith, other people started believing the story. So I then started learning how to borrow money on notes, and I got people involved. Next thing I know, not only I didn't have 50,000, I had 350,000 10 days later. Then I had the bank, because I had so much cash down, they gave me a loan. And then my first big property was a $5.3 million apartment complex. And my appraisal came in at $8.5 million because the guy didn't have it to market. So you're talking about a hit. Don't start licking your chops. I wouldn't have got that had I not put up with all the other stuff for 20 years before that. So the main thing is that, don't lose focus of the present moment. That's the key. And again, I was telling Quentin, life can only be, and I said it once, I'm going to say it again. Life can only be understood backwards. It's got to be lived forwards, but don't be looking in the future. Look at the present moment. What am I doing today with the 24 hours allotted to me? Do things in 25-minute chunks. Don't try to challenge the whole day, in one setting. Do the most important thing you can at every given moment, and then you're going to succeed in the real investment business. And you got to educate, you got to information. Now, a lot of times people will attend these podcasts and all because they don't want to go do what they're supposed to be doing, and that's the hard work. So, definitely attend this, but don't just go to my website. Oh, good, maybe there's some secrets there. Nobody's coming to save you. No one's coming to make you rich. Nobody's going to give you anything. You gotta just keep feeding this thing. Feed this, right? And then go out and do the work. And don't put it off. Don't put off the work. So that's my encouragement, man.
Love it. So a wise man once told me, it's not about the time that you put in, but it's about what you put into the time.
Damn,
You ever heard that? You ever heard that? A wise man told me that, man. A wise man told me that. He also said, and I think you said it yourself, it's don't grind, refine.
Refine.
Like don't grind, refine. And so what's your secret to making what you do run smoothly? Like how does your machine
I'm glad you
run?
said that. I'm glad you brought that up. This is really critical because I was ready to quit, even though I was pretty good at sales. Because people don't come from a perspective of wisdom, and even though I had some good people around, some good mentors, so keeping that courage is so important. But one of the things I developed this philosophy early on, and it just it was so important. And the way I developed it was a mentor taught me. He says, Fred, this was having to do with real estate sales as a young kid, knocking on doors, right, and trying to get listings from for sale by owners and expires and all. And one of the things he said, Fred, if you want to succeed in this business, I don't want you to ever, ever, ever look for any yeses. I want you to go out and look only for the no's. You want to go knock on people's door and you're hoping they say no. You're hoping they give you an objection. You're hoping they tell you to go, don't bother them, because that's where you're going to learn the most. And he said, I promise you, if you're willing to go out and take 9 no's, you're going to get one yes every 10. So you just go, but you be more excited about every no. And he made it such a point. And man, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have fax machines when I was knocking on doors. I mean, this is a long time ago. Yeah. So, I mean, look, and so this was all one phone call, and then you had to go out physically knock on people's doors. And I mean, I could go on some really great stories, but that philosophy, and it actually became a manuscript. I never printed it because, long story why, but and the philosophy of success is the artful management of failures and setbacks. So when a failure and setback, you're not going to ever have a success if you don't fall in love with failures and fall in love with setbacks, because every setback is there to give you strength. That's the key to success. That's the key to everything, is to realize that all those failures you're going to have and you're going to experience. And I don't care what business you get into, it's the same thing. So that was one of the things, Quentin, that is really kept the fuel in the fire. That one poem that I talked about on my site, the real estate poem that was written in the early 1900s.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I love it, man. I love it. There's a book that I've read probably multiple times now. It's called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Are you familiar? And he talks about getting to the know. And it's because he talks about negotiation. He's an expert in hostage negotiation, but he always talk about, hey, let's go ahead and get to the know. Let's get to the no so we can get to the yes, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about what you don't want to do so we can talk about what you do want to do, right? So yeah.
And the other thing, you gotta, this idea of, you're not there. If you're going out and grinding, you're not refining, right?
That part.
And so if you're going out trying to make a sale, I hate that word sale. I want a service, right? I want to, how can I help you today? How can I make your life better? Don't get into business to make money, get in business to make a better life, not for yourself, for other people. And that's all you got to do. Zig Ziglar used to say it, find a need and fill it. But the key is that you got to understand is that, and my mentor, Dr. Dennis Waitley, I was so fortunate to be on his staff. He wrote a book many years ago. Look him up. He's about 90 now.
One more time.
Dr. Dennis Waitley, one N in his name, Dr. Dennis Waitley. Dr. Dennis Waitley used to work with the Olympic athletes. He wrote a book called The Psychology of Winning. It's no longer out there that much, but you can find it right on YouTube and you can listen to it free. The Psychology of Winning. And he used to say all the time, this decision of the buyer is based upon the value of the seller, the person bringing the product or the offering or the service. So let me repeat that. The decision of the buyer, if you're trying to buy investment property, they're still the buyer, right? Even though they might be the seller, they're still the buyer of your services. So the decision of the buyer is always based upon the value of the seller, the person making the presentation, because that's the key. The decision of that buyer is based upon the value of the seller, the person bringing the product or service. How much value do you put on yourself? How much practice have you put into your craft? How much do you really, truly know your information, right? Because if you're going to out hustle, you're going to get some deals. If you're out selling, you're going to get some deals, but you're going to get tired. You're going to get tired. You're not even going to like yourself. If you're just hustling, you might as well do drugs. So go sell drugs. There's a lot more money in it. Right? So faster, but you'll go.
Investment does not approve the message of.
I think they got the point. Oh,
they got the point.
We got to watch it get kicked off. Does this go on YouTube?
That's what happens when two Baltimoreans get together. It's always see, we got to kill this stigma. I know.
I didn't mean to say that, folks. YouTube.
No, I got you. No. We get you. We get exactly what you mean.
But no, my point is really, and I want to be a little dramatic because you got to be dramatic in life. Go to my YouTube channel, find the 10 Scrolls by Og Mandino. By the way, if you're going to be in this business and you don't read Og Mandino's book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, and master those 10 scrolls, and there's no excuse. I put them in beautiful music and pictures for you. Go to YouTube, look up Fred DeFalco, find the 10 scrolls. They're beautiful. I put them in beautiful art because I wanted to get my salespeople to listen to them, and by the way, I can help anybody if they want to be in the real estate brokerage business. I can help them. I'm with eXp Realty as well. I have a team. I can help you there. And you don't have to go to eXp Realty if you like where you are, because I'm a big encourager. I have clients that own their own real estate brokerage company. Look up a company, Hustle Bees Realty in the Southwest Florida. This young gal's 32 years old. They sell this year. She's going to break 500. She hit almost 500 this past year. 500 transactions, as a little small broker, 32 years old. So the real estate business, nothing like it. Nothing like it.
I love it, man. I love it. You talked some very real stuff. And so I would love, from your perspective, if you can give our listeners, if you don't mind, tell us a time where like a deal kind of maybe went sideways, maybe where you had to pivot fast. Like, you mind sharing one of those stories, Mr. Fred?
Why? I mean, I can't. I mean, there's just too many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've made people multi-millions of dollars, right, on a
Yeah.
transaction, and ended up scheming the company, that we have.
Mm.
I mean, I go on and on and on, and you know
Mm.
what? They're in your future. There's just no doubt about it. Now, if you get a real good advisor, and I don't need you to be, I'm not pitching you at all. But I'm
Why you
saying,
here, sir?
yeah, you
Yeah.
need a protection plan, but you want to get wise because hindsight. A lot of that came because I didn't see my own value and I listened to
Yeah.
somebody else. I didn't trust myself enough. I trusted somebody else because they had a little bit more money, all right, or they had more power, and they had more value. Now it was negative value. It was negative value they brought to the table, but it looked like good value because they were so confident about it, and they were a con
Yeah.
person, right? So I can go on and
Yeah.
on and on with those deals. And then sellers too. I mean, I had one seller, I killed myself getting their property sold. No one else could sell it. I sold it. Then I saved their business. Then there was a state attorney got involved. He was entitled to 33% of a business that was going to be worth about $4 million because they got him the 40%. I'm sorry. His fee was 40% because he started straight. I jumped in. I went up against the attorney. I saved them so much money, a couple $1,000,000. And when I end up selling the one property, they refused to sign the deal unless I would negotiate my commission with them, and I would negotiate. I had to sue that seller to get it. So,
Right.
and he should have been writing me love letters, and yet he made me sue him, to get paid.
Mm.
So there's all kind of things. Look, don't worry about those. Just be wise. Be wise. Be wise. Be wise, and learn, study, and you got to know your own value. You're valuable. I don't care who you are. You could be just starting out in this business, and you don't have anything, and you're borrowing a down payment for your first house or first flip or whatever you're going to do. But be bold.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not rocket science. Real estate is not rocket science. It's just knowing your information and study the facts, study the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you talked about it, believing in yourself, putting the work in with self-development. Kind of didn't say self-development, but working on you, right?
That's all.
That's it.
Look, Jim Rohn. Everybody knows the name Tony Robbins, and
Oh yeah.
Jim Rohn was Tony Robbins' mentor, my mentor, a lot of people's mentors, but Jim Rohn used to say very simple. He says, business is never good or bad out there. It's always good or bad in here, right? And then work harder on yourself than anything else, and everything else takes it much easier on you. So, but no one wants to work on themselves. It's we don't want to challenge our belief systems. I make my salespeople, they got to show me their calendar every Sunday. They better have 30 minutes blocked. It's called Socrates and Me. Socrates' philosophy was the unexamined life is not worth living. So I tell them the unexamined business is not worth having. The unexamined calendar is not very powerful. So they need to block 30 minutes every week on a Sunday. I don't care what time of day, it doesn't matter. It's called Socrates and Me's time. They evaluate the week they just spent, how much time they wasted, how much time how much did they really live life? How much are they really sincere to their calls they should have made? This, that. Evaluate your life every Sunday for 30 minutes. And then the Socrates and Me go, how am I going to do better this week? How am I going to do better this week? And I have a mastermind with my one group every Monday morning at 7:59 a.m. And you better be there by 8:04. You're not getting in. And then there's just consequences. So when they show up, they still, hey, how'd you do it? Because they have accountability goals. How'd you do with this? How'd you do with your database? Well, I didn't quite get to it. Stop it. Stop it. Don't even say it. Just say, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
And it's okay, Fred. That's what I want to hear back because I'm going to try and do better this week. And then, we're just pitiful. Us human beings, we're pitiful. But yet we're not. We're pitiful because of us. Yeah, we're made with such power. And, there's a scripture. I don't care what your religion.
Come on, say it, sir.
In Psalms, David said what art thou, old man, that you are mindful of me, oh God? He's made us just a little lower than the angels. And you're going to make up some pitiful excuse. And I love when people say, well, what happened? I don't know. What if you did know? I had one agent just said not the other day, and she's been around me for a long time, almost a year now. And this happened, that happened about her deals. And She didn't get done what she was supposed to get done. I said, what happened? She said, well, Fred, I really don't know. I said, you're going to tell me that? You don't know? What if you did know? What would you say? Act as if you were a coach to yourself. What would you tell the you that just said that stupid thing? You don't know. You do know. It wasn't important to you, and it's okay to say that. But this week, you're going to make it important. I'm not here to tell you what to be. I'm here to tell you, hold yourself accountable. Don't allow yourself to have excuses. Right?
Listen, our time has been well spent. I think I'm going to get you. No. Wait, hold up. Wait, I mean, you got to go. Do you have to go? Can I?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I got 5 more minutes. I got a 1 o'clock.
Okay, perfect. I just want to know what's your next goal? What's the next goal for you?
2035worldpeace.org. I want to get people to live by two questions, 2 minutes a day. 2 minutes, 2 questions a day. World peace is the reason you don't have world peace because of you, Quentin. It's all on you. You were sent here to save the world, my friend. And once you realize you're the savior of the world, then you start taking things more serious. So 2 questions, 2 minutes a day. Find it on 2035worldpeace.org. It comes right out of a book called A Course in Miracles. You know, very simple. Do I want peace or do I want conflict? Do I want to live in love or fear? Those 2 questions will save the world. They're going to save the world. So 2035worldpeace.org. That came when I was in the pits of hell. You know, when my last granddaughter was born, I have 8 of them. My last granddaughter was born 8.5 years ago. And that's that it says, when I says, man, I got to set a goal. That's the other thing. I'll give you this last one. You know, from a mentor of mine, I don't know where I read it, forgot who it was, but set a goal so big, you're forced to live and become that person to achieve it. So I was sitting there going, how in the hell am I going to get out of this? I just gone through a hedge fund thing. You know the name SoftBank? SoftBank just donated $200 billion, or not donated, invested. SoftBank is the largest hedge fund in the world. Well, they beat me out of my $35 million portfolio. And I was going through hell. I mean, death of a 36-year-old daughter. I can go on and on and on, all within a 4-year period. Divorce after 40 years. And now we're back together after her going into hospice. Long. But look, it came to me and it says, set a goal so big. And it came to me. It says, the Nobel Peace Prize 2035. You're going to be the Martin Luther King of Christianity, of Islam, and of the Jewish people. I said, what? 2035 world peace? What are you talking about? Come on, man. So, but it stuck with me, 2035. So that's my whole life has become that in the last, 6 years. So that's my goal. It's not my goal. It's not my goal.
Yeah, I got you.
It's my life.
Yeah,
right?
there you go. Yeah. So listen, just before we wrap, I just want to get a clean reach out contact point for you. If like somebody wanted to contact you, collaborate with you.
920agent.com, 920real.com. Fill out that form. When you fill that form out, be very specific, because I use Loom videos. By the way, everybody, if you're going to be a real estate investor, you need a subscription, not the free one, to Loom. I communicate with all my sellers. I've got right now an appointment right after this with a person selling $1.5 million property for one of my agents, and I'll close that deal on Loom. I don't ever loot. We're doing right now $2 million deal. I have never met the people, and I do everything on Zoom and Loom.
Yeah.
Zoom and Loom.
But listen, we over here in Investorville are very familiar with Loom, so I feel you, sir. So listen, you want
be real specific, and I'll send you back to Loom. I'll say, look, here's my advice. Boom, 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 boom. And if you really want to do something, and if you really are serious about your life and serious about really doing it right, go to my website, DeFalco.com, go down at the bottom, take the Habit Finder assessment, and you'll get back a 44-page report. Put that in the chat GPT after you get it back. Say, what the heck are they talking about? You don't even need me, right?
Yeah.
But if you really want to take it and get engaged in a 6-week, I mean, it's heavy. It's heavy, right? It's 6-week, go through the entire manual of the Habit Finder assessment from the Og Mandino Institute. I'm certified in that science. It's going to blow you away. It's only 15 minutes. That's free. And you'll get back your 44-page report. That's free. So take that. That's important. DeFalco.com down at the very bottom.
Yeah. Well, listen, Mr. Fred DeFalco, man, I thank you for your time, your story. I appreciate you so much, sir.
Is Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.